No is a full sentence. Finding Peace Through Personal Boundaries. Written by Ronnie Rowland, published by Growth Literacy Lounge. Introduction. You stand at the threshold of a transformative journey that promises to guide you toward a life of more significant serenity, self-respect, and empowerment. No is a full sentence. Finding Peace Through Personal Boundaries is a book, a companion, and a map for navigating the often challenging but rewarding landscape of personal boundaries. In a world where the lines between personal space and external demands blur, and yes is often dispensed more readily than our inner truth would like, this guide offers a beacon of light. It illuminates the path to reclaiming our space, peace, energy, and ultimately our lives. Join our dynamic group of explorers and learners by subscribing to the channel. Your support empowers us to deliver more engaging and insightful content, serving as a token of encouragement. You're committing to advancing financial education and personal development by joining our movement. Chapter 1: The Power of No. If you've ever found yourself stretched too thin, saying yes when every fiber of your being screams no, you're in the right place. It's a common thread that binds us, this reluctance to disappoint, to step back, to prioritize our peace over others' expectations. But what if I told you that no is not just a word but a complete sentence? A powerful one at that. No is the first step in a journey toward reclaiming your space, your peace, and ultimately your self-worth. It's about drawing a line in the sand, not out of selfishness, but from a place of self-respect. This chapter is not just an introduction to saying no. It's an invitation to empower your space by setting the foundations of personal boundaries. The cultural quandary: we live in a culture that glorifies the yes. Say yes to opportunities, social gatherings, and overtime work, even when it drains the life out of you. This constant push towards affirmation has left little room for the power of negation, for the sanctity of our personal space and well-being. Have you ever wondered why? The reason is deeply rooted in our desire for acceptance and fear of rejection. From a young age, we're taught to accommodate, bend over backward if necessary, and fit into the molds society has created for us. But here's a revolutionary thought: what if those molds are not one size fits all? Breaking the cycle. Saying no requires courage. It demands you value your peace and well-being above the risk of displeasing others. And yes, it's a risk. But it's also a declaration of self-worth, a testament to the fact that you are your own person with your limits and needs. Imagine a day where every decision you make comes from a place of self-respect. You honor your energy and time as the precious resources they are. This is the power of no. It's not about being hostile or aggressive but honoring your authentic self. The first step as we embark on this journey together, consider this chapter your first step toward embracing no. Reflect on the moments you've said yes when you wanted to say no. What drove those decisions? Fear, guilt, a desire to please? Recognizing these patterns is the first step in transforming them. In the pages ahead, we'll explore the art of setting personal boundaries, the guilt that often accompanies them, and strategies for maintaining your space against pressure. It's a path that leads to peace, serenity, and a life where you are entirely in control of your yes and numbers. But setting boundaries is an art as much as it is a science. How do we craft these invisible lines in a way that respects both our well-being and our relationships? The next chapter, Crafting Your Space, the Art of Personal Boundaries, delves into this question. Together, we'll explore the delicate balance of crafting your space, ensuring your no is heard and respected without alienating those you care about. Chapter 2, Crafting Your Space, the Art of Personal Boundaries. If the thought of saying no stirred something within you, you're ready for the next step in our journey, crafting your space through the art of personal boundaries. Think of boundaries as the walls of a beautiful garden, your garden. They protect, they define, and most importantly, they allow what is precious to flourish within. This chapter is about building those walls, not to isolate, but to cultivate a space where you can grow in peace and serenity. Understanding personal boundaries. But what exactly are personal boundaries? Simply put, they're the limits you set with yourself and others regarding what you find acceptable and unacceptable in behavior, communication, and interactions. They're your say in what you allow into your life and what you keep out. Personal boundaries are your voice when you're not in the room, your advocate in your absence. Setting boundaries is a declaration of your self-worth. It tells the world, I respect myself enough to protect my energy, my emotions, and my well-being. It's a crucial step in not just finding peace, but in creating an environment where you can thrive. The foundation of boundaries. So, how do we begin to set these boundaries? It starts with self-awareness. Understanding your needs, values, and limits is the cornerstone of boundary setting. It's about knowing what you can tolerate, what drains you, and what empowers you. This knowledge is not just power, it's empowerment. Take a moment to reflect on the times you felt overwhelmed, disrespected, or undervalued. What boundaries, if any, were crossed? Recognizing these instances provides valuable insights into where your current boundaries lie and where they need reinforcement. Steps to setting your boundaries. Identify your limits. Start by understanding your emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual limits. What makes you feel uncomfortable or stressed? These are your non-negotiables. Communicate clearly. Once you know your limits, communicate them calmly and assertively to those involved. Remember, setting boundaries is not an act of aggression, it's an act of self-respect. Safeguard your space. Be prepared to defend your boundaries. It's one thing to set them, it's another to maintain them. This might mean saying no, limiting contact, or removing yourself from harmful situations. Give yourself permission, permit yourself to set boundaries. You have the right to protect and preserve your well-being, and that includes making tough decisions for the sake of your peace. The balance. Setting boundaries can feel like erecting barriers between you and the world. But remember, these walls are not to keep the world out but to safeguard the treasure within. They allow you to interact with the world on your terms in ways that honor your needs and values. As we close this chapter, remember that setting boundaries is an ongoing process. It's a practice that evolves as you do. But the beauty of this garden you're building? It grows in resilience, beauty, and peace with each boundary set. But here's a question that often lingers. How do we set these boundaries without feeling a pang of guilt? It's one thing to know where your limits are, it's another to enforce them without feeling like you're letting someone down. In our next chapter, Guilt-Free Boundaries, we'll explore this delicate dance. We'll navigate the guilt and discover ways to maintain our peace without compromising our kindness. Join me as we continue to sculpt a life of serenity grounded in the respect and love we owe ourselves first and foremost. Chapter 2 lays the groundwork for understanding and setting personal boundaries, providing practical steps and encouraging self-reflection. This sets the stage perfectly for the next chapter, where we'll tackle the emotional challenges that often accompany boundary setting, ensuring the reader is equipped with knowledge, compassion, and understanding for themselves. Chapter 3: Guilt-Free Boundaries. As you've begun this journey of setting boundaries, you might have encountered an unexpected companion along the way: guilt. It's a familiar feeling that surfaces when we prioritize our well-being, often making us question our right to say no. But here, in this chapter, we'll learn to navigate through this guilt, ensuring our journey toward peace remains unburdened. Understanding the guilt. Guilt is a tricky emotion. It often stems from a deep-rooted belief that our value is tied to how much we do for others, how much we please, and how little we inconvenience those around us. It whispers in our ears that saying no is selfish, that prioritizing our peace is a luxury we're not entitled to. But guilt, like all emotions, is a signal, not a sentence. It's signaling a conflict between our actions and our beliefs. The solution? Aligning the two by reshaping our beliefs. Reshaping beliefs. The first step in navigating guilt is challenging and reshaping the beliefs that feed it. If you believe saying no makes you wrong, it's time to reevaluate what being a good person means to you. Is it self-sacrifice to the point of self-neglect? Or is it maintaining your well-being so you can be present and supportive without resentment or exhaustion? Recognize the source. Where does your guilt come from? Identifying its cultural, familial, or personal origins can help you understand and address it more effectively. Reframe your thinking. Instead of viewing boundaries as a denial to others, see them as affirmations of your needs and well-being. You're not taking from others, you're giving to yourself. Affirm your right. Remind yourself that you have the right to protect your energy and well-being. You are your most extended commitment. Honoring that commitment is your right and your responsibility. Maintaining boundaries without guilt. With a new framework for understanding guilt, let's explore how to keep our boundaries guilt-free. Communicate with compassion. When setting boundaries, do so with kindness and empathy. It's not just what you say but how you say it. A compassionate approach can alleviate feelings of guilt and reduce potential conflict. Practice self-compassion. Be gentle with yourself. Setting boundaries is a skill that requires practice. Acknowledge your efforts and celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Seek support. Surround yourself with people who respect your boundaries and understand your journey. Sharing your experiences with supportive friends or a therapist can provide validation and encouragement. The freedom beyond guilt. As we learn to navigate guilt, we'll find that our boundaries become more robust, our relationships healthier, and our peace deeper. Guilt-free boundaries are the ultimate expression of self-love and respect, paving the way for a life on our terms. Maintaining boundaries can be challenging, especially when faced with pressure from others. How do we stand firm in our space when the world pushes back? In the next chapter, Resisting Pressure, Standing Firm in Your Space, we'll explore strategies for upholding our boundaries against external pressures. We'll explore how to stay rooted in our peace, even when the winds of expectation blow fiercely against us. Join me as we continue to strengthen our fortress of serenity, learning to set boundaries and stand by them with conviction and grace. In this chapter, we've tackled the problematic emotion of guilt that often accompanies setting personal boundaries. Understanding, addressing, and moving beyond guilt pave the way for a more peaceful and empowered existence. The journey continues as we prepare to face external pressures with the strength and resilience we've been cultivating. Chapter 4: Resisting Pressure, Standing Firm in Your Space. By now, you've begun to understand the importance of setting boundaries and hopefully started implementing them in your life. Perhaps you've also encountered the inevitable pushback that can come from those around us when we assert our needs. This chapter is dedicated to helping you resist pressure and stand firm in your space, ensuring your boundaries are respected and maintained. The nature of pressure. Pressure can come in many forms, from the subtle hints of a friend who doesn't understand why you can't meet up as often to the direct demands of a workplace that expects you to always be available. It's important to recognize these pressures for what they are, attempts to encroach upon your personal space and peace. Recognize the pressure. The first step in resisting pressure is recognizing it. Whether it's a guilt trip from a family member or an unreasonable request from a colleague, acknowledging these pressures helps you prepare to respond. Understand its source. Often, the pressure we face is not about us but the needs, desires, or insecurities of the person exerting it. Understanding this can depersonalize the pressure and help you address it more objectively. Strategies for standing firm. How do you stand firm once you recognize and appreciate your pressure? Here are some strategies to help you maintain your boundaries. Stay rooted in your why. Remember why you set your boundaries in the first place. Your mental, emotional, and physical well-being are paramount. Keeping your reasons at the forefront of your mind can strengthen your resolve. Communicate assertively. When faced with pressure, clearly and assert your boundaries. You don't need to justify or explain your reasons extensively. Simply stating your boundary is enough. Practice self-care. Resisting pressure is emotionally taxing. Ensure you care for yourself by engaging in activities that replenish your energy and strengthen your resolve. Seek support. Surround yourself with people who respect your boundaries and support your journey. A support system can provide the encouragement and strength needed to stand firm. The test of time. It's important to note that standing firm in your space is a test of time. The initial pushback you face may be strong, but as you consistently uphold your boundaries, those around you will begin to adjust to the new norms you've set. This adjustment period is crucial for establishing a new equilibrium in your relationships. With your boundaries firmly in place and your ability to resist pressure strengthened, how do these changes affect your relationships? The next chapter, Boundaries and Relationships, The Balancing Act, explores how setting boundaries can lead to healthier, more respectful relationships. We'll look at how our boundaries not only protect us but can also enhance the connections we have with others. Join me as we continue our journey, armed with the courage to maintain our peace, even in the face of external pressures. Together, we're setting boundaries and building a life where our needs and well-being are honored and cherished. This chapter has provided tools and strategies for resisting pressure and standing firm in the space you've claimed for yourself. By understanding the source of pressure and employing assertive communication and self-care, you're well equipped to maintain your boundaries against any challenges that come your way. As we move forward, we'll delve into the nuanced relationship between personal boundaries and the health of our connections with others, highlighting the positive ripple effects of our journey so far. Chapter 5: Boundaries and Relationships, the Balancing Act. As you've embraced the practice of setting boundaries and standing firm against pressure, a new landscape emerges in the realm of your relationships. This chapter explores the delicate dance between maintaining and nurturing your relationships, revealing how setting boundaries can deepen connections and foster mutual respect. The impact of boundaries on relationships. It's a common fear that setting boundaries will push people away, creating a rift where there was once closeness. However, the reality is often quite the opposite. Healthy boundaries create space for genuine interaction, where everyone is respected and valued for who they are, not for what they do or provide. Clarity and honesty. Boundaries bring clarity and honesty to your relationships. They eliminate guesswork, allowing your friends, family, and colleagues to understand your needs and limits. Respect and understanding. When you assert your boundaries, you invite others to recognize and respect your individuality. This understanding can lead to deeper, more meaningful connections. Growth and support. Boundaries encourage not only your growth but also the growth of those around you. They challenge your loved ones to consider their boundaries, fostering a supportive environment for everyone to thrive. Communicating your boundaries. Communication is vital to maintaining relationships while asserting boundaries. Here's how you can communicate your boundaries in a way that nurtures your relationships. Use I statements. Frame your boundaries from your perspective to avoid sounding accusatory. For example, I feel overwhelmed when I don't have time for myself, instead of you taking up too much of my time. Be clear and direct. While compassion is essential, clarity and directness prevent misunderstandings. Clearly define what is acceptable and what isn't in your interactions. Reinforce positively. Whenever possible, affirm the value of your relationship while asserting your boundaries. Let the other person know that your boundary is about meeting your needs, not rejecting them. Navigating pushback. Even with the best communication, you may encounter resistance or hurt feelings. Here's how to navigate these moments. Listen and validate. Allow others to express their feelings without judgment. Validation doesn't mean you agree, but it shows you respect their perspective. Reaffirm your boundaries. Gently but firmly reaffirm your boundaries. It's okay to repeat yourself if necessary. Consistency is critical to understanding. Offer alternatives. When possible, offer alternatives that respect your boundaries while meeting the other person's needs. This demonstrates your commitment to the relationship. The balancing act. Ultimately, setting boundaries is a balancing act. It requires tuning into your needs while considering the needs and feelings of those around you. It's about finding the middle ground where everyone's well-being is valued and protected. As we continue this journey, we embrace the growth of honoring our boundaries. But what lies beyond the initial establishment of these boundaries? In the next chapter, The Growth Beyond No, we'll explore the transformative personal growth that unfolds as you become more adept at setting and maintaining your boundaries. This growth isn't just about saying no, it's about saying yes to a life of respect, self-worth, and genuine connections. Join me as we delve deeper into the profound impact boundaries have on our personal development and the unexpected doors they open in our journey toward peace and fulfillment. In this chapter, we've navigated the intricate relationship between personal boundaries and the health of our connections with others. By learning to communicate our boundaries clearly and with compassion, we invite more profound understanding and respect into our relationships, proving that boundaries do not push people away but rather draw the right ones closer. As we move forward, the focus will shift to the internal growth spurred by these external changes, highlighting the holistic nature of our journey towards empowerment and peace. Chapter 6: The Growth Beyond No. With the foundations of boundary setting firmly in place and an understanding of its role in enriching our relationships established, we now turn inward to explore the profound personal growth that awaits us beyond the word no. This chapter celebrates the transformation that unfolds when we assert our boundaries, a journey of becoming that stretches far beyond the limits we set. The transformation begins. Saying no and establishing boundaries is not just about keeping others at a respectful distance. It's a process of self-discovery and affirmation. Each no is a stepping stone to understanding who we are, what we value, and what we need to thrive. Self-discovery. In setting boundaries, we're forced to confront our valid preferences, desires, and aversions, often discovering aspects of ourselves we've ignored or suppressed in the quest to please others. Self-respect. Each boundary set is an act of self-respect. It declares that our feelings, time, and energy are valuable. This realization fosters a more profound sense of self-worth that permeates every aspect of our lives. Empowerment. A profound sense of empowerment comes with asserting your boundaries. It's the power of taking control of your life and authoring your story. Growth through challenges. The journey of setting boundaries has its challenges. Each obstacle, each moment of discomfort, is an opportunity for growth. Resilience. Facing pushback and navigating difficult conversations strengthen our resilience, teaching us that we can withstand adversity and emerge stronger. Empathy. As we learn to assert our boundaries, we also become more attuned to the boundaries of others. This fosters a sense of compassion and understanding, enriching our interactions and relationships. Flexibility. The process of setting and maintaining boundaries teaches us flexibility. We learn that boundaries aren't rigid walls but living, breathing entities that can adapt as we grow and change. Celebrating your growth. As you reflect on your journey, take a moment to celebrate the growth you've experienced. Acknowledge the courage to assert your boundaries and honor the person you've become. Reflect on your journey. Look back on where you started and where you are now. Celebrate the steps you've taken, no matter how small they may seem. Acknowledge your courage. Recognizing your bravery is crucial in fostering self-worth. You've done something remarkable in choosing to honor your needs. Embrace your growth. Embrace the person you've become through this process. Your journey is uniquely yours, a testament to your strength and resilience. With our boundaries firmly in place and a newfound sense of self-worth, we might wonder, what comes next? How do we continue to grow and adapt our boundaries as we evolve? In the next chapter, Evolving Boundaries, Adapting with Grace, we'll explore the dynamic nature of boundaries and how to gracefully adjust them as we navigate through life's constant changes. This adaptability is not a sign of weakness but a testament to our growth and self-understanding. Chapter 7: Evolving Boundaries, Adapting with Grace. As we continue our journey, it's crucial to recognize that as we evolve, so too do our needs, relationships, and boundaries. The person you are today is not the same as the one who first embarked on this path of setting boundaries, and as such, the boundaries you set back then may no longer serve you now. This chapter is about honoring your growth by allowing your boundaries to evolve with you. The dynamic nature of boundaries are not meant to be static. As we grow and change, so must the limits we set for ourselves and others. This fluidity is a sign of responsiveness to our evolving selves and circumstances. Life changes. Major life events such as career changes, new relationships, or personal losses can significantly impact our needs and capacities, necessitating a reevaluation of our boundaries. Personal growth. As we grow in self-awareness and self-respect, we might find that what was once acceptable is no longer so. Our boundaries must reflect this personal evolution. Changing relationships evolve, and with them, the dynamics that dictate our boundaries. What works in one phase of a relationship may not work in another, requiring adjustments to maintain healthy interactions. Reassessing and adjusting boundaries. Adjusting your boundaries is a reflective process that requires honesty, courage, and sometimes, difficult conversations. Regular check-ins. make it a habit to assess your boundaries regularly. Ask yourself what's working, what isn't, and why. This ongoing dialogue with yourself ensures your boundaries align with your current needs and values. Communicate changes. When your boundaries shift, communicate these changes to those affected. Approach these conversations with clarity and empathy, reinforcing the importance of the relationship while affirming your needs. Embrace flexibility. Allow yourself the flexibility to experiment with your boundaries. Finding the right balance is a process of trial and error, and what's important is that you're actively engaging with your needs. The grace in adaptation. Adapting your boundaries with grace means acknowledging and accepting the fluidity of life and self. It's a self-compassion practice, understanding that as you navigate the complexities of life, your boundaries are tools to aid in your journey, not constraints to bind you. Self-compassion. Be gentle with yourself as you navigate the changes in your boundaries. Change is a sign of growth, not indecision. Seek support. As you adjust your boundaries, lean on your support system for understanding and encouragement. The journey is more manageable when shared with those who respect and support your evolution. Celebrate your adaptability. Embracing the changing nature of your boundaries is a testament to your resilience and flexibility. Celebrate this ability to adapt as a strength, not a weakness. With a deeper understanding of boundaries' dynamic nature and how to adapt them gracefully, we're prepared to explore the profound peace that follows this practice. In the next chapter, The Peace That Follows, we'll delve into the serenity and fulfillment that emerge from living within well-defined, regularly reassessed, and gracefully adapted boundaries. Join me as we discover the tranquility that awaits when we honor where we are and who we are becoming, ensuring our boundaries reflect our journey toward a life of balance and peace. Chapter 8: The Peace That Follows. Having journeyed through establishing, communicating, and evolving your boundaries, you've likely begun to notice a shift. A quiet, perhaps initially unassuming, yet profoundly transformative sense of peace has started to take root. This chapter celebrates and explores that peace, the deep, enduring tranquility that comes from living within well-defined and self-honoring boundaries. The nature of this peace is not the absence of conflict or challenge, but a serene assurance amid life's storms. Knowing you have created a sanctuary within and around yourself aligns with who you are and what you value. Inner harmony, an intrinsic alignment occurs when your external boundaries reflect your internal values. This congruence fosters a sense of inner harmony, reducing internal conflict and increasing self-acceptance. Confidence in choice. With established boundaries, you gain confidence in your decisions. This confidence stems from understanding your limits and respecting your needs, reducing anxiety and second-guessing. Freedom. Living a life dictated by your needs and values rather than external expectations is profound freedom. This freedom allows a deeper exploration of who you are and what brings you joy. Cultivating and maintaining this peace. While the peace that follows setting boundaries is transformative, maintaining it requires intention and practice. Here are ways to develop and sustain this newfound tranquility. Mindfulness. Regular mindfulness practice can help you stay connected to your feelings and needs, making it easier to notice when your boundaries need adjusting. Self-care. Prioritizing self-care is essential for maintaining your peace. It reinforces the importance of your well-being and supports the energy required to uphold your boundaries. Continuous reflection. Reflect on your boundaries and their alignment with your evolving self. This ongoing assessment ensures that your peace is constantly nurtured by current, not outdated, needs. The ripple effect. The peace you cultivate within yourself doesn't stay confined, it extends outward, influencing your relationships and the spaces you inhabit. Improved relationships. When you are at peace, it changes how you engage with others, leading to healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Your peace can encourage others to reflect on their boundaries and find tranquility. Inspirational presence. Your journey can serve as an inspiration to those around you. The peace you embody can motivate others to embark on their boundary-setting voyage, creating a community of individuals committed to self-respect and mutual understanding. Embracing the journey. As you embrace this peace, remember that the journey doesn't end here. Life will continue to evolve, and your boundaries will need to adapt. But now you possess the tools, knowledge, and most importantly, the peace to navigate this ever-changing landscape. But how do we ensure this peace lasts? In the next chapter, Sustaining Serenity, Practices for Maintaining Peace, we will delve into daily practices and mindsets that help preserve this inner calm amidst life's inevitable upheavals. Join me as we learn not just to find peace but to keep it, weaving it into the fabric of our daily lives, ensuring that our serenity is as enduring as the journey itself. In this chapter, we've explored the profound sense of peace that follows the diligent practice of setting, communicating, and adapting personal boundaries. This tranquility is not a destination but a companion on our journey, requiring nurturing and attention to remain vibrant. We will discover how to sustain this peace as we continue, making it a permanent backdrop to our ever-evolving lives. Chapter 9: Sustaining Serenity, Practices for Maintaining Peace. Having discovered the peace that follows the establishment and adaptation of personal boundaries, we now face an essential question: how do we sustain this serenity in the face of life's constant changes and challenges? This chapter is dedicated to practices and mindsets that help maintain the inner calm you've worked hard to achieve. Daily practices for peace. Sustaining serenity requires intentionality. In our everyday choices and practices, we find the strength to preserve our peace. Some daily practices can help with mindfulness and meditation. Begin or end your day with a mindfulness or meditation practice. This can help you center yourself, reminding you of your boundaries and the importance of maintaining your peace. Journaling. Regular journaling can be a powerful tool for self-reflection and tracking the evolution of your boundaries and feelings. It allows you to process emotions, celebrate successes, and identify areas for adjustment. Gratitude practice. Cultivating gratitude can shift your focus from lack to abundance. This mindset fosters contentment and reinforces the value of the peace you've created. Mindsets for maintaining peace. In addition to daily practices, certain mindsets can help sustain your serenity. These perspectives anchor you, keeping you in peace even when external circumstances are tumultuous. Flexibility over perfection. Embrace the understanding that maintaining peace doesn't mean achieving a state of perfect calm at all times. Allow yourself the flexibility to experience emotions and face challenges, knowing that your peace isn't lost in these moments, just momentarily obscured. Compassion towards self and others. Practicing compassion reminds you that everyone, including yourself, is doing their best with the knowledge and resources they have. This mindset can soften your interactions and help maintain peace, even in conflict. Boundaries as an act of love. Reaffirm to yourself that setting and keeping boundaries is an act of love and respect for yourself and others. This perspective ensures that your actions are rooted in positive intentions, fostering an environment of mutual respect. The role of community. While maintaining peace is an internal process, the community around you plays a significant role. Surround yourself with people who respect your boundaries, support your journey, and share your commitment to maintaining serenity. This community becomes a reflective surface, reminding you of the peace you've cultivated and the importance of preserving it. The continuous journey. Maintaining peace is a continuous journey, not a one-time achievement. It requires constant attention, adaptation, and commitment. But with each day you commit to these practices and mindsets, sustaining serenity becomes more ingrained, more a part of the fabric of your being. As we've explored practices for maintaining peace, it's clear that this peace affects more than just our internal world. It ripples out, impacting those around us. In the next chapter, The Ripple Effect, Inspiring Others Through Boundaries, we will explore how your journey and the peace you've cultivated can inspire and empower others to embark on their journeys towards setting boundaries and finding serenity. Join me as we explore the powerful impact our peace can have on the world, transforming our lives and those we touch. This chapter delves into the practices and mindsets that help sustain peace by living with clear, respectful boundaries. Recognizing that sustaining serenity is an ongoing process, we turn our attention outward in the next chapter, considering how our personal growth can inspire and influence those around us in a positive, transformative manner. Chapter 10: The Ripple Effect, Inspiring Others Through Boundaries. Having embarked on a journey to cultivate and sustain your inner peace through personal boundaries, you've transformed your life and positioned yourself as a beacon for others. This chapter explores the ripple effect your journey can have, inspiring and empowering those around you to explore their boundaries and find their serenity. The power of example. Your journey is a testament to the transformative power of boundaries. By living your truth, you become a living example of what's possible when prioritizing their well-being and peace. Inspiration through action. Often, we inspire others not through our words but through our actions. Your commitment to maintaining your boundaries and peace can be a powerful motivator for others who witness your transformation. The visibility of change. The changes in your life, increased happiness, productivity, or peace do not go unnoticed. They spark curiosity and often admiration, prompting those around you to reflect on their own lives. Sharing your journey. While living by example is potent, sharing your journey can amplify the impact of your transformation. Here's how to share in a way that inspires and empowers. Openness and vulnerability. Being open about your struggles, successes, and the lessons learned invites connection and empathy. It demystifies the process, making the concept of setting boundaries more accessible. Offer support and resources. Share the resources, books, and practices that have helped you. Offer support as they navigate their journey, reminding them they're not alone. Encourage personal reflection. Inspire others to reflect on their boundaries and what peace means. Encouraging personal reflection helps people take the first step toward serenity. The collective journey. As more individuals embark on setting boundaries and finding peace, a collective shift occurs. This shift is towards a culture where boundaries are respected and peace is prioritized. A shift in dynamics. As individuals in your circle begin to set their limits, the dynamics within your relationships shift towards mutual respect and understanding, fostering healthier and more fulfilling connections. Creating communities of support. Through shared experiences and goals, communities of support form. These communities provide a space for sharing, learning, and growth, reinforcing the importance of boundaries and the pursuit of peace. The responsibility of influence. With the power to inspire comes a particular responsibility. Embrace this role with humility and grace, recognizing that each person's journey is unique. Your role is not to dictate but to inspire, to offer a hand in solidarity, recognizing the courage it takes to embark on this path. As we acknowledge the ripple effect of our journey, we must recognize the responsibility that comes with influence. In the next chapter, The Responsibility of Influence, we'll explore navigating this role with integrity and compassion, ensuring that our influence is a source of empowerment, not imposition. Join me as we delve into the nuances of being a beacon of change, guiding without dictating and inspiring without imposing, as we continue to expand the circle of peace and respect through our everyday actions and choices. In this chapter, we've looked at how the personal transformation from setting and maintaining boundaries can inspire and influence those around us. By sharing our journey and living by example, we foster our growth and contribute to a collective shift toward a culture of respect and self-care. As we move forward, we'll consider the delicate balance of influence, ensuring our impact is positive and empowering. Chapter 11. The Responsibility of Influence. As you've become a source of inspiration through your commitment to personal boundaries and inner peace, you embark on a new phase of your journey, wielding the responsibility of influence with integrity and grace. This chapter delves into how to responsibly navigate your role as an influencer, ensuring your impact empowers others to find their path without imposing your own. Understanding your influence. Realizing that your actions, words, and journey impact others is empowering and humbling. It places you in a position where your guidance can become a beacon for others seeking their peace through personal boundaries. Lead by example. Continue to lead by example, demonstrating that living a life aligned with one's values and boundaries is possible. This silent leadership often speaks louder than words. Offer guidance, not prescriptions. Share your insights and experiences as guidance, not strict prescriptions. Acknowledge that each individual's journey is unique, and what worked for you may not work for everyone. Foster autonomy. Encourage others to find their way, make their mistakes, and celebrate their successes. Empower them to become the authors of their journey toward peace and self-respect. Balancing influence and autonomy. While seeing others inspired by your journey is rewarding, balancing your influence with respect for their autonomy is crucial. Listen more than you speak, be a listener. People seeking inspiration or guidance often need a sounding board more than they need advice. Listening validates their feelings and struggles, making them feel seen and heard. Encourage self-reflection. Inspire others to self-reflect rather than adopt your methods. Questions that prompt reflection can be more valuable than direct advice. Respect their journey. Recognize and respect that each person's journey will have its rhythm, challenges, and victories. Celebrate their progress, irrespective of how it compares to your path. The ethics of influence. With influence comes a moral obligation to wield it ethically. This means being mindful of how your words and actions affect others and constantly checking in with yourself to ensure your influence is positive and empowering. Promote inclusivity. Ensure that your guidance is inclusive, recognizing people's diverse backgrounds and challenges. Encourage practices and mindsets that are accessible to all. Avoid exploitation. Be vigilant against any forms of influence that might exploit others' vulnerabilities. Your journey should inspire, not capitalize on, the struggles of others. Maintain transparency. Be open about your own journey's ups and downs. This honesty fosters trust and demonstrates that the path to peace and boundaries is a continual process, not a destination. The impact of responsible influence. When wielded responsibly, your influence can create positive change, encouraging a culture where personal boundaries are respected and inner peace is prioritized. This creates a legacy that extends far beyond individual achievements, a community where empathy, respect, and self-care are the cornerstones. As we understand the responsibility that comes with influence, it's essential to look inward and reflect on the psychological underpinnings of our journey. In the next chapter, The Psychology of Boundaries, we will explore the mental and emotional frameworks that support healthy boundary setting, providing a deeper understanding of the transformative power of boundaries. Join me as we dive deeper into the heart of our journey, exploring the psychological landscapes that inform our paths and how we can continue to grow, adapt, and inspire with integrity and compassion. This chapter has highlighted the nuanced responsibility that accompanies the role of an influencer in the realm of personal boundaries and peace. By approaching this role with humility, respect for individual autonomy, and ethical consideration, you contribute to a broader cultural shift towards self-awareness, mutual respect, and collective well-being. As we move forward, our exploration deepens into the psychological foundations that make this journey both challenging and profoundly rewarding. Chapter 12: The Psychology of Boundaries. With a newfound understanding of the influence and responsibility that come with being a beacon of change, we now turn inward to explore the psychological underpinnings of our journey. This chapter is dedicated to unpacking the mental and emotional frameworks that support the setting and maintaining healthy boundaries, offering a more profound comprehension of why this journey is both a challenge and a profound opportunity for growth. Understanding boundaries from a psychological perspective. Boundaries are not just social constructs or practical tools for managing our lives. They are deeply rooted in our psychological makeup. They reflect our self-esteem, our values, and our past experiences. Self-esteem and boundaries. A strong sense of self-esteem is a precursor to and a product of effective boundary setting. Healthy boundaries signal a high regard for oneself, reinforcing the belief that one is worthy of respect and care. Values and boundaries. Our values guide our decisions, including where we set our boundaries. Understanding our core values can clarify why certain boundaries are non-negotiable for us and why others might be more flexible. Past experiences. Our history significantly influences how we view and establish boundaries. Past traumas, relationships, and upbringing can influence our boundary-setting behaviors, sometimes making it difficult to assert our needs. The role of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, the ability to understand, use, and manage our emotions positively, is crucial in setting and maintaining boundaries. It allows us to communicate our boundaries in an assertive and empathetic manner. Self-awareness. Recognizing our feelings and triggers helps us identify when a boundary has been crossed or needs to be set. Self-regulation. Managing our emotions, especially in challenging situations, allows us to assert our boundaries without aggression or passivity. Empathy. Understanding the feelings of others can help us communicate our boundaries in a way that respects their emotions and preserves the relationship. Navigating boundaries with cognitive behavioral techniques. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, offers tools that can be particularly effective in setting and maintaining boundaries. These techniques help challenge and change unhelpful cognitive distortions and behaviors, develop personal coping strategies, and solve problems. Identifying cognitive distortions, recognizing patterns of thinking that undermine our ability to set healthy boundaries, such as people-pleasing or fear of rejection, allows us to challenge and change these thoughts. Assertiveness training. CBT can provide strategies for becoming more assertive, helping us express our needs and boundaries clearly and respectfully. Stress reduction techniques. Managing stress through CBT techniques can prevent us from becoming overwhelmed, ensuring we remain clear-headed and confident in our boundary-setting efforts. The journey towards wholeness. Understanding the psychological aspects of boundary setting transforms this practice from a mere self-help strategy into a profound journey towards psychological wholeness. This journey requires courage, introspection, and sometimes professional support, but it promises a more prosperous, more authentic life. Armed with a deeper understanding of the psychological foundations of boundaries, we are better equipped to navigate the complexities of this journey. In the next chapter, Looking Forward, Continuous Growth and Boundaries, we will explore strategies for lifelong boundary setting and maintenance, ensuring continuous growth and peace. Join me as we prepare to take the following steps, armed with insight and courage, ready to face the future with a strong sense of self and clear, respectful boundaries. This chapter has illuminated the psychological intricacies behind setting and maintaining boundaries, highlighting the deep connection between our mental health, emotional intelligence, and the boundaries we set. Understanding this connection enriches our journey, providing a solid foundation for continuous growth and the sustenance of our inner peace. As we move forward, we're not just setting boundaries but crafting a life of authenticity, respect, and enduring serenity. Chapter 13. Looking Forward, Continuous Growth and Boundaries. As we near the culmination of our journey, it's essential to recognize that the path of setting and maintaining boundaries is one of continuous growth. This chapter is dedicated to strategies that ensure our development is ongoing, our boundaries evolve as we do, and our inner peace remains a steadfast companion. Embracing lifelong learning, the journey of personal growth and boundary setting is never complete. As we evolve, so do our needs, relationships, and world. Embracing lifelong learning means staying open to new experiences, insights, and adjustments in our boundaries. Stay curious, cultivate a mindset of curiosity about yourself, others, and the world. This curiosity can lead to new understandings and growth that inform your boundary setting. Seek new experiences. Engaging with new experiences challenges us to reassess our boundaries and adapt. Through these challenges, we find new strengths and areas for growth. Reflect regularly. Regular reflection on your boundaries and their effectiveness is crucial. Consider keeping a journal or setting aside time for meditation and reflection as part of your routine. Strategies for continuous boundary maintenance. Maintaining boundaries is an active process that requires regular attention and adjustment. Here are some strategies to ensure your boundaries evolve with you. Regular check-ins. Make it a habit to check in with yourself about your boundaries. Are they still serving you? Do they need adjustment? This regular audit can help keep your boundaries aligned with your current needs. Communication. As your boundaries change, communicate these changes to the people in your life. Clear communication prevents misunderstandings and helps maintain healthy relationships. Support systems. Lean on your support systems for feedback and guidance. Friends, family, and professionals can offer perspectives and support, reinforcing your journey. The role of resilience and adaptability. The ability to bounce back from setbacks and adapt to change is crucial in the ongoing journey of boundary setting. Here's how to cultivate resilience and adaptability. View challenges as opportunities. Instead of viewing challenges as obstacles, see them as opportunities for growth. This perspective shift can transform how you approach life and boundary setting. Develop coping strategies. Building a toolkit of coping strategies for when things don't go as planned can help you navigate difficulties gracefully and maintain your inner peace. Stay flexible. Recognize that change is a constant part of life. Being flexible with your boundaries means adapting to life's changes without losing your sense of self. Celebrating your growth. As you look forward, take a moment to celebrate how far you've come. Each step on this journey has contributed to your growth, understanding of yourself, and ability to live authentically. Celebrate your resilience, your courage, and the peace you've cultivated. As we prepare to close this chapter of our journey, we focus on the future, knowing that the path of self-discovery and boundary setting is ongoing. In the final chapter, wrapping up, the journey continues. We'll reflect on the critical lessons learned and look forward to how we can continue to apply these insights in our lives, ensuring our journey towards self-respect, healthy relationships, and unshakable peace continues to unfold with each new day. Join me as we take these final steps together, not as an end but as a celebration of beginnings, of the endless possibilities that await us on this continuous path of growth and discovery. This chapter has reinforced the concept of constant growth and adaptability in personal boundaries, emphasizing the importance of lifelong learning, regular reflection, and the cultivation of resilience. As we move to close our journey, we do so with the understanding that every end is a new beginning, and every lesson learned is a step towards a more authentic and peaceful life. Chapter 14. Wrapping up, the journey continues. As we draw this guide close, we pause to reflect on our journey together. From understanding the power of no to embracing the continuous evolution of our boundaries, this has been a path of discovery, empowerment, and peace. This final chapter is not an end but a celebration of the journey that continues beyond the pages of this book. Reflecting on key lessons, throughout our trip, we've explored the multifaceted process of setting and maintaining personal boundaries. Let's revisit some of the key lessons. The power of no. Learning to say no is an act of self-respect and empowerment. It's the first step in recognizing and honoring our limits. Crafting your space. Establishing personal boundaries is essential for creating a space where we can thrive, free from undue stress and encroachment. Navigating guilt and pressure. We've learned strategies to manage the guilt that often accompanies boundary setting and to resist external pressures that challenge our peace. The importance of communication. Effective communication is crucial in setting boundaries others respect and understand. Continuous growth. Our boundaries and our needs will evolve. Embracing constant reflection and adaptation is critical to maintaining our well-being. As you continue your journey, remember that setting boundaries is dynamic and ongoing. Life will present new challenges and opportunities for growth, and your boundaries must adjust accordingly. Here are some final thoughts to carry forward. Stay true to yourself, honor your needs, values, and limits. Your commitment to yourself is the foundation of your peace and happiness. Embrace change. Life is a tapestry of changing circumstances and relationships. Embrace change as an opportunity to reassess and realign your boundaries. Spread kindness. As you've learned to respect your boundaries, extend that respect to the boundaries of others. Kindness and understanding in our interactions can create a ripple effect, fostering a culture of mutual respect. Seek support. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. Seek support from friends, family, or professionals when you need it. Community is a powerful source of strength and inspiration. A final word. As we part ways, remember that the journey of setting boundaries is a profound act of self-love and respect. It's a testament to your strength and commitment to living a life that's true to who you are. May you continue to grow, learn, and find peace in the boundaries you set and the space you create for yourself. The journey continues, and so does your growth. Here's to the paths you'll pave and the peace you'll find. With this, we conclude No as a full sentence, finding peace through personal boundaries. This guide has been a journey of empowerment designed to lead you toward a life marked by self-respect, healthy relationships, and unshakable peace. As you progress, remember that each day presents a new opportunity to reaffirm your commitment to yourself, refine your boundaries, and deepen the peace within. The journey continues, and with it, so does your transformation. Our journey of personal growth is an endless river carved by the flow of our experiences, trials, and the pursuit of our true selves. Let each day be a current that moves you closer to the ocean of your potential, for we uncover life's greatest treasures in the depths of self-discovery. Subscribing to our channel will elevate your learning journey. Each video created is designed to challenge, inspire, and enlighten. By subscribing, you'll ensure you're up to date with the latest content and support our quest to make learning easy and accessible. I am so grateful for your presence and listening. Be well and thrive.